Swiss Army Man is a very strange film, but that doesn't mean it's not beautiful. It comes from writer-directors Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan, also known as Daniels. It stars Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano. That's a whole lot of Dan. It also comes from production company A24, which has a lot of great films such as Green Room, The Lobster, Moonlight, Free Fire, It Comes at Night, and the upcoming surefire classic, The Disaster Artist. The film follows Hank Thompson, which is a nod to Tom Hanks from Castaway, who is lost on an island. He is about to hang himself due to loneliness, boredom, and the loss of hope of ever making it back to shore. But before he kicks out the chair, he sees a body that is washed up on the beach. He goes over to the body, and it's Daniel Radcliffe's character, Manny. He sees that he's dead and attempts to hang himself again. But again, just in the nick of time, Daniel Radcliffe's body starts farting. A lot. That's where things start to get weird. Strangely enough, farts actually have a huge part in this film. Have it be Manny's body being used as a jet ski and his farts being the acceleration, or as a symbol for things you're embarrassed about, more seriously. Hank begins to tow this body around with him, as obviously he's a useful tool. As the film goes on, the body comes more and more alive as Hank teaches Manny about the world. The more he learns, the more he comes alive. He starts moving more and walking and talking. I'll stop right there so the movie doesn't get too spoiled, but I will say that Manny does become the Swiss Army Man and is useful in many ways, including using his boner as a compass. That's right, his hard penis as a compass. I absolutely adore this film for so many reasons. For starters, it doesn't take itself too seriously, which due to the content in the movie, like farts and boners and stuff, I think that's very important for this movie to be successful. The second thing I love is the back and forth of Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano. I've never seen them together before. I don't know if they've collabed before, but it's funny because like in the beginning, I was actually like thinking to myself, and why would Daniel Radcliffe take a role where he's a dead body? But like by the end, I thought to myself like, wow, he is so much more than a dead body. And I honestly think that this is Daniel Radcliffe's best role. And yes, I have seen Harry Potter, so don't jump down my throat, but he is so hilarious in this, and it suits him so well. He hasn't done much comedy, and I think that it really works for him. The film has great performances from both leads, with a great underlying message that makes you feel kind of sad. The odd tale of friendship and love is kind of like heartwarming and off-putting at the same time. The creators in an interview said, "We accidentally made a gay necrophilia movie," and I think it describes it pretty perfectly. It's beautifully shot with a great set in the redwoods of California, and another impressive thing is it was only shot in 22 days. The original soundtrack for this film is no doubt the most beautiful and atmospheric soundtrack I have ever heard. I watched the movie 4 days ago, and I have since listened to the soundtrack a total of 9 times. It's an a cappella soundtrack with voices meshed together to make an absolutely beautiful group of melodies. Even the editing in this film is so great, it makes the dialogue and the shot composition even funnier and quirkier than it already was, and very sad when it needs to be. It was even just the editing of some shots that had me like dying of laughter. I feel that's like what a lot of comedies are missing these days is like visual humor, and like not just like people making jokes to make people laugh. One director that does that very well is Edgar Wright, but you know, Edgar deserves a whole nother video for himself, so I'm gonna move on. This movie is a fun ride and has great character development. It'll make you cry, it'll make you feel awkward, and it'll definitely make you laugh, more than you might think. I absolutely love this movie. I would recommend this film to anyone who loves either of these actors, or if you just want to see a great piece about loneliness, friendship, and farts. I'm going to wrap up this review pretty quickly because there's nothing really much I can say bad about it that I saw in my first run. I'm going to be awarding this film an 8 out of 10, losing a few points for the few things here and there, and a somewhat confusing and kind of open-ended ending that didn't really make much sense to me. Hello once again, everyone. 2 videos one day. I'm nuts. I was bored. Did this. Shouts out to Adam Hinckley for recommending me to do this film. And shouts out to Corey Miller for giving me some support. And shouts out to everyone who's been giving me support. I love you all. More coming soon. Bye bye, baby. Mwah.